Hello there, good evening and a warm welcome to the news live on Rupavahini Channel I. I'm sure on my screen.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Charita Vinapatarachi and let's move on to the headlines for tonight's news. The President instructs the Treasury to issue funds to release the fuel stocks. The Minister in charge says no power cutbacks today. The Health Minister reiterates that all 3 doses must be taken for full vaccination. State Minister Channaja Subana says statements of Champika Ranavaka on government's vaccination program are false. Vegetable prices go down. The Navy apprehends 330 kilograms of heroin in the international sea south of Sri Lanka.
On to the stories in detail now, starting off with local news. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has instructed the relevant authorities to release the necessary funds to clear the oil ship that has reached the Sri Lankan sea territory. Minister Gamini Lokage says this measure will pave the way to supply electricity without cutbacks. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has presided over a meeting to discuss on the current power crisis at the Presidential Secretariat this morning. The meeting was attended by Ministers Gamini Lokage and Udaya Gammanpilla, as well as officials of the Central Bank and the Ministry of Finance. Minister Gamini Lokage said that the talks have been extremely successful. He added that they have prepared a program not to engage in power cutbacks. The minister further said that the president has instructed to present a program without causing power discontinuations. Minister Lokage also said that required oil stocks are currently available and preparations are underway to purchase the remaining stocks as well. Funds have been provided to secure oil stocks. Therefore, there will not be any power cutbacks in the future. The minister has further stated that engineers present at the meeting have also acknowledged their stance. Necessary dollar amounts are available to procure oil. The decision has taken in the presence of the Minister of Finance, Secretary to the Ministry of Finance and the Governor of the Central Bank. The position of the President has been that the country must go forward without power interruptions. The minister also said that some people are expressing their reluctance to supply electricity and calling to purchase power from private thermal power stations. The minister added that it is necessary to look into these developments to find out whether mafia is in action. He also said that Maithripala Sirisena that during his period a mafia had existed and that he was unable to safeguard the industry from it. The minister had pledged to resolve all discrepancies. The Ceylon Electricity Board has earlier made a request from the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation to furnish necessary full oil stocks for power generation until the 22nd of this month. The board has made another request to extend the period until the 30th of this month. It has also been pointed out at the talks that in the event if the clearance of the diesel ship stationed at the maritime boundary, it would have been possible for the Yugadanavi power station to generate electricity by means of both diesel and fuel oil. The Ministry of Power has also come into an agreement to supply fuel oil to Sapagaskanda power plant, where generation of electricity is being suspended at present. Accordingly, the President has instructed the Governor of the Central Bank to immediately secure the release of diesel ship as a remedy to the problem. Minister Udaya Gammanpilla said that steps will be taken to supply the required quantities of diesel and fuel oils. Minister Udaya Gammanpilla said that there have been stories of power sector in debt to the tune of 93 billion rupees. The President has given orders to release funds to the CEB to pay back dues. The minister has also expressed optimism over the recommencement of activities at the Sapagaskanda power station by the 30th of this month. He has also pointed out that the CEB will be accorded direct Indian loan facilities. The Minister of Finance is negotiating with India to have credit facilities to the Electricity Board. A pledge has been made to open the necessary letters of credit to import fuel oil. Even if these letters open today, it would be able to receive fuel oil stocks by 8th of next month. He further said that, however, with the reopening of the Sapagaskanda oil refinery, there is a possibility of supplying some quantity of fuel oil by the 2nd of next month. Governor of the Central Bank, Ajit Nivad Kabral, said that dollars will be provided at any instance to purchase oil stocks. He added that there is no power crisis and therefore there is no need to fear. The Public Utilities Commission says that the Ceylon Electricity Board has not yet given permission to engage in power cutbacks. It adds that necessary recommendations says an electricity mafia is once again taking place in order to create a power crisis and place the general public and the government into difficulty. It further says 2 generators in the reactivated Kalanithissa plant has been dysfunctioned by a group. It also calls upon to conduct a systematic investigation into the incident.
And moving to the local update of the COVID-19 pandemic, Minister of Health Dr. Kehale Rambukwala says that full vaccination is completed only after receiving all 3 doses. He further says that shortly it would become compulsory to have a vaccination card in order to enter a public place. The minister had made these remarks participating in a special discussion with heads of media at the Ministry of Health today. Sri Lanka will complete 1 year in its vaccination program on the 29th of this month. The Ministry of Health has taken measures in parallel to this event to implement a series of special programs at all hospitals and regional medical officers of health affairs. Ministers Rohita Begunawardena and Prasanna Ranatunga have also participated in the discussion. A 2-week booster vaccination program has been declared in the Gampaha district from tomorrow. Special programs will also be implemented on the medical officer of health affairs level in this connection. This was disclosed at the Gampaha district COVID committee meeting today, which was presided over by Minister Prasanna Ranatunga. Special programs will get underway for the inoculation of booster vaccine on employees in all government institutions and factories in the district. The aim is to inoculate more than 10,000 persons on daily basis. Inoculation of the second dose of the Pfizer vaccine to school children between the ages of 16 and 19 years has commenced today. This dose has been administered on children 3 months after receiving the first dose. Meanwhile, the health divisions warned of a rapid increase in the number of Omicron-infected patients in the country if the general public are not being subjected to a proper vaccination procedure.
Dr. Channa De Silva says that the vaccine immunity will be key to prevent another COVID-19 outbreak in the country. He urged the public to receive the relevant vaccine without any hesitation to avoid the country's health system from being challenged by a similar crisis as experienced during the 3rd COVID wave.
Most probably the Omicron variant would be the commonest variant within next few weeks within the country, also according to the world situation. And when this spreading is happening, especially unvaccinated people might get some complications. So when they are developing complications, the hospitalization, the need to have the high dependency care, intensive care, as well as oxygen requirement, ventilator requirements, and need of sophisticated management options. You know, sometimes patients require ECMO as well. So this type of requirement might be increased, and if we consider the previous situations at the peak of 3rd wave, the society might go into the similar situations. But the only thing which determine whether our society will go into that situation or the disease can be controlled without going into that situation, which is challenging the health system, is mainly determined by the immunity of the people. So how can we improve this immunity? Because there is no 100% proven drug even in the Western medicine for the COVID-19 treatment. So because of that, the vaccination, it's only the way which has been proven scientifically. There might be various remedies, various tonics, various forms formed by various people, but we don't have any evidence, any convincing evidence of effectivity of these medications or any other drugs or any other products. However, the efficacy of vaccine have been confirmed scientifically, and it has confirmed it's reduced the spread of the disease, it's reduced the development of complications, as well as the most importantly, it definitely reduced the deaths due to COVID-19 infection.
State Minister Channa Jayasumana says that parliamentarian Partali Champika Ranawaka is spreading falsehoods. The State Minister was responding to a statement regarding vaccination by Ranawaka yesterday. Parliamentarian Partali Champika Ranavaka said that the vaccine was discovered in October 2020, but Sri Lanka had not received it. The AstraZeneca vaccine went to Indonesia in November 2020 for a price of $106, but Sri Lanka received the same vaccine for $16. He also said that this shows the extent of the vaccine fraud. State Minister Channa Jayasamana said that the AstraZeneca vaccine was first delivered on January 4, 2021. Sri Lanka had commenced vaccination on January 29, 2021. Sri Lanka had received the AstraZeneca vaccine as a contribution under the COVAX program. Sri Lanka purchased one AstraZeneca vaccine for a price of $525. An arbitration board comprising of high-ranking state officials appointed by the cabinet are purchasing the items according to the cabinet recommendations.
And meanwhile, the Colombo High Court has decided to commence examinations of the filed case against former parliamentarian Hirunika Premachandra on charges of abducting a youth on the 23rd of May. The order has been delivered when the case was taken up for hearing at the Colombo High Court today. Colombo High Court Judge Amal Ranaraja has instructed on this occasion to commence testimony on the case on the 23rd of March. Accordingly, the judge has ordered to issue summons to the witness to appear before the court on this day. The Colombo High Court has early imposed 2-year rigorous imprisonment to each of the 7 aides of Hirunika Premachandra who had acknowledged guilt for the offences, subjected to a 12-year suspended sentence. The Supreme Court has ordered to recommence hearings on the second complaint filed against former State Minister Ranjan Ramanayake on the 9th of March. He is already undergoing a prison sentence on an earlier charge for contempt of courts. The order was delivered when further hearings have resumed today before a panel of judges comprising of Justices S. Thurai Raja, Yasantha Kodagoda and A.H. M.D. Nawaz. The complaint has been filed regarding opinions expressed by Ranjan Ramanayake at a television program pertaining to the panel of judges who had examined the case against the decision of then-President Maithripala Sirisena to dissolve the parliament in this year 2018. The complaint has also accused that the statement made by Ramanayake in this connection had amounted to contempt of courts. The Court of Appeal has ordered to resume hearings to further substantiate facts of the revised petition submitted by former Minister Partali Champika Ranavaka requesting to suspend examination of the court case filed against him at the Colombo High Courts on the 21st of next month.
The Sri Lanka Navy was reported to have apprehended a vessel carrying nearly 330 kilograms of heroin in the international seas south of Sri Lanka. The raid has been conducted according to information received by the Police Narcotic Bureau. The State Intelligence Divisions and the Navy has also extended assistance. 6 suspects have been arrested in this connection. The suspects as well as the vessel are scheduled to be brought to the shore tomorrow morning.
And the original copy of the book titled The Conflict That Eluded Peace, authored by former Army Commander General Shantha Kottegoda, was presented to President Gotabaya Rajapaksa at the Presidential Secretariat today. The work has been compiled based on 36 years of military career of General Shantha Kottegoda, and he has joined the Army Infantry Regiment and later on actively contributed his energies on the Northwestern War until retirement from the Army as Commander-in-Chief.
Reports say that vegetable prices are declining in special economic centres in the island. The vegetable prices have been recorded at a lower level at the Kapetipola Special Economic Centre today. It is the Kapetipola Special Economic Centre that is distributing upcountry vegetables throughout the island. Several weeks ago, many vegetables were trading at prices as high as 500 rupees per kilo. However, the situation has changed drastically and the prices are falling rapidly. The Traders Association at the Kapetipola Special Economic Centre says that the receipt of the vegetables harvest from outstations, the prices have come down. Minister Professor Jia Piri says that the present government continues to act in a democratic manner despite the presence of whatever the challenges. Addressing a media briefing in Colombo today, the minister said that the government does not approve by any means the dictatorial rule pointed out by the opposition leader. Minister Professor Geo Piri said that the newspaper report published today says that Sajid Premadasa has stated that somewhat dictatorship is needed to confront the challenges faced by the country. The minister added that they are completely against this notion as the president and the government has a proper plan and the ability to work under a democratic framework to resolve the problems.
The government has taken measures to provide equipment for 574 Saupagya production villages. A sum of 5,300 billion rupees has been allocated in this regard. In addition, 3 million rupees is being spent to set up a marketing center in each of those villages to sell their produce. Establishment of the production villages has commenced under the Vision of Prosperity policy statement of the government. The objective is to encourage production in rural areas. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga has presided over the handing over of equipment to 3 selected production villages in Minuwangoda. Accordingly, the equipment has been provided to the sweet meat production village in Yagudamulla, to the meat production village in Bodhipihituala, and also the coir manufacturing village in Konasa. The government has also set aside funds for shortage storage facilities rather than for road development and water supply in the village.
The Andhra Pradesh Sabha has commenced a project to produce organic fertilizer using garbage accumulated in the town. The Andhra Pradesh Sabha says the manure being produced through refuse daily collected in many parts of the Pradesh Sabha limits could be sold at a concessionary price. Meanwhile, farmers in the Galle district say that they are engaged in paddy cultivation successfully using the organic fertilizer provided by the government. Around 33,000 farmers are engaged in paddy cultivation in 30 agrarian division in the district. Farmers in the Polonnaruwa Alahara Divisional Secretariat Division are engaged in successful Kurakkang cultivation in an extent of 200 acres. Reaping of harvest has commenced yesterday. Harvesting of paddy grown with application of organic fertilizer in Vaunia, Manna and Mullaitivu has commenced. Farmers say that they are receiving a good price for their produce. Harvesting of turmeric cultivated with the use of organic fertilizer in 6 divisions in the Valava region has begun. The farmers request to provide the opportunities to the market to produce.
And with that, we conclude tonight's news. Do it just tomorrow at the very same time. Stay safe. Good night.
Are scheduled to be provided tomorrow. Meanwhile, the Technical Engineering and Superintendents Association